guys, so today I'm gonna show off my Negima pactio cards, and that is this thing right here. This is all of the list of students from the Negima series that has a pact with Negi. If you're unfamiliar with the story, it's about a 10-year-old child named Negi Springfield who graduated from Magical Academy, and he has to go and teach at a all-girls high school called Mahora. So he's a 10-year-old teacher teaching girls in a whole school, high school girls class, and the story is that he's looking for his father. His name is the Thousand Master, and in his search to look for his father, he has to avoid his students finding out about his magical powers. If anyone finds out about his magical powers, he will be punished by the Magic Society. And throughout the story, more and more students start to find out about his magical abilities, and he eventually makes them partners. And the pactio cards are the proof of contract between him and the students. Something like that. So, yeah, this is one of my favorite mangas that I've read for a while, and it's just a really good show, only because all the characters are so likable. There's a lot of unique characters, and I know I've seen a lot of anime, I've read a lot of manga, and I tend not to like the characters that much, and it kind of plays down the rest of the series for me. This one, the characters really do kind of play themselves, and it's something that I admire very greatly. So this right here is Negi Springfield. He is the hero of the story, or the main character, I should say. And I guess they just created a card for him. And these cards are pretty cool. Each one of these have their own signature. Each character has their own signature on the back. So I thought that was pretty awesome. So this is Seko, and she's actually dead. She's actually a ghost, and most of her class doesn't actually know she exists. So she's kind of an interesting character because she's considered a classmate in the official book, but no one really knows she's there. Give or take a few people here and there. So I guess that's her signature there. So this one is Husky Yuna. She's actually one of the she's part of the basketball team, but she does like using guns, and she's a pretty interesting character. She kind of pushes her own personality into the manga pretty well. I'm not sure what it means. I don't know if I can exactly explain how that is, but you just gotta see it. She's pretty cool. So this one is a friend of Aiko, we have Akira, who is known to be the ace swimming team girl. She's very quiet, but she's very strong. And currently in the manga series, these two are kind of in the midst of getting in trouble, really. They got sucked up into the magic world, and they actually don't have powers because they don't have provisional contracts yet. And I haven't gotten that far just yet. So here we got Misa, who's part of the cheerleading squad. There's not much I can say too much about her. Not yet anyway. We haven't dug deep into this character just yet. All I can say is she's part of the cheerleading team. So this is Asuna, and she's actually the second, or also the main character, next to Negi, his first contract, and the pretty most important character for the storyline. She's kind of like an idiot, but she's very strong, and she has the power of magic canceling. So she can cancel magic, which is probably the most rare magical ability in the Negima world. And yeah, she's just one of those characters that you don't expect to be good, and she becomes something just all that more powerful. So now we have Misora. They didn't dig too deep in with this character, but she's one of the nuns who is associated with the magical world. Before some of the other students knew about. So she comes on later as a kind of like a guardian for the magical world. So she'll try to silence people who would leak information and things like that. So she's pretty cool. But they didn't really dive too deep with her. Now we have Chachimaru, who is a very interesting character only because she's the only non-human. Actually, I'm lying. She's the only android within the class. Throughout the series, she starts to develop a kind of feelings, a humanoid feeling towards Negi, and her master, Evangeline, also has an affinity for Negi and his father, who she knew from the past, which when I get to it I'll explain. But she's probably, at first in the manga, it was Negi's rival. This was her puppet. As you can see here, that's Evangeline and her kind of sidekick. So here we have Maruka, who's also one of the cheerleader crew. Her and one of the other students is part of the cheerleading crew, but they don't really expand too much on it. As far as my knowledge, I don't think I've gotten that far just yet. This one's one of my favorite characters out of the whole series. she's part of the Baka Rangers, who consist of 5 characters in the show who are known for being dumb and scoring low on tests and things like that. However, she is a Chinese martial arts Kempo. She studies Kempo and also teaches Negi how to use the martial arts. She's one of Negi's most powerful allies throughout the series and one of his most trusted. I do think she's one of the funniest characters. She doesn't take herself too seriously, and I personally like this character quite a lot. We have Konoe Konoka. She is the headmaster's granddaughter of Mahora Academy, and her ancestors were actually the head of the Magic Association. She didn't know anything about it and was not pre-exposed to magic, only because she had great potential of having strong magic, and it was kept secret until she got involved with Negi's enemies and things like that. Her ability is she has a healing ability. As long as it was inflicted, any damage that was inflicted within 3 minutes, she can heal. So, from my understanding. Now we have Haruna, who is one of Negi's trusted teammates at the moment. She is an artist, quite eccentric, and she loves to create drama. Her power is to draw and make it become real life. So she does create some pretty cool stuff. If you like drama, this is your girl. Get the little face right here. Here's one of my favorite, another favorite of mine. We have Setsuna, who is Konaka's guardian. They were best friends as kids, and I guess there's some suggestions saying that she's actually in love with her guardian, Konaka, and yeah, she's probably the strongest swordsman that they have in the crew, and she's probably one of the strongest trusted allies of Negi, along with Kufei. And I don't know, she's quite an interesting character. She tries to be serious, but sometimes she's just too nice for her own good, I think. Now we got Maki Sasaki. She is part of the gymnastics team, and for some reason got caught up with the magical world as well, along with Chikse, which I don't think I've introduced just yet, but she's kind of funny. She's actually really athletic, and yeah, she has potential, but they haven't dived too much into it just yet. I know there is some kind of favoritism for this character from Ken Akamatsu, who's created the show, but nothing as of this moment. I found the third cheerleader. It's Sakurako. Again, with the cheerleaders, nothing special. against Kufei. Now, Kufei ultimately won, but there was a sense that she was kind of throwing the battle, and she's one of the strongest characters in the show. However, she's not, at this moment, she doesn't have a pact with Negi, and it explains that she has had a pact with someone in the past who's actually have passed already. So her contractor died at some point in time, so we don't actually know her age or anything like that. So she also works for money as a mercenary, so a lot of the time she does become Negi's enemy at certain times. So she does kind of play devil's advocate most of the time. Overall, she's one of my top favorites for being a badass. I think Chao Linson, I don't know if I pronounced that right. She's probably the most mysterious character out of all the characters here. During the Magic Festival, she was trying to expose magic to the known world, and apparently she has the power to control time. She claims that she's a great descendant of Negi Springfield, and she says she comes from the past. But no one tends to believe her until the end of the festival. She just has great influence around the world, apparently, and she just, I don't know, she can tear it up. Yeah, she's probably the most mysterious. No one really knows if she was ever telling the truth from coming from the past. Well, from the future, really. And at the end of the festival, after defeating most of the teachers and everything like that, she does disappear back to the future. But she never explained why she was trying to expose the world with magic. It was suggested that something bad in the future was going to happen, and the only way to change it was to expose magic in the past. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, though. Also, this is one of my also top favorites, next to Mana, is Kaede. She was one of the students who wasn't predisposed to magic. However, she was very powerful and from being in the ninja family line. So she's also part of the Baka Rangers. Dumb for, test schools and things like that. Test at schools. But she's probably one of the most powerful contracts with Negi at the moment. And I think her and Mana are pretty close friends. But it is suggested that Mana is stronger than Kaede. And right now she's probably one of the most badass characters, along with Mana, in my opinion, and one of Negi's strongest companions with his pactio contracts. Now we have Chistu, who is someone who's not associated with the magic division. However, there is an extra character, Negima. I can't remember his name. I think it's Kotaro or something like that. He's one of Negi's partners. Well, at first he was Negi's enemy, rival, and now they're partners. And when Kotaro lost his memories, Chizuru found him, and kind of took care of him. And where I'm at in the manga suggests that maybe she will be finding out about the secrets pretty soon. But yeah. Here we got Fumika and Fujika, two twins who are probably the most meddlesome characters here, and they just like to start trouble. They are the type to start rumors, peep on people, and constantly make pranks. In the manga, I don't think they know about magic yet, but they're very close to finding out things here and there. Now we have Haisa Satomi. She's an engineer for the science club at Mahara. She also is the engineer for Chichamaru, who is Evangeline's puppet. So she's actually very important to Evangeline in keeping maintenance with her puppet. That's essentially. I think she's associated with the magical world, but they've never mentioned it. And she was also on the side of Chao, thanks Jen. So I would assume she is associated with the magical world, but I'm not 100% sure. They haven't dug deep into this character yet, but she's a mad genius. So here we got Chisame, who doesn't like fantasies. She's the #1 dead idol in the world, and she refuses to believe in magic, even though she saw it for her own eyes. After a while, she becomes Negi's partner due to certain circumstances, and currently in the manga where I'm reading, she's looking after him as Negi learns dark magic. suggest that he's passed away, but I'm sure we know that's not true. But she is super important because she teaches Negi Springfield how to use magic and how to fight. So she's one of the most powerful characters in the show. However, she is sealed to Mahora Academy, and she can't really leave due to the spell that Nagi casted on her. So here we got Nodoka, who is Negi's most trusted members of his team. She's very shy and she's kind of a bookworm. Her special ability is to read the minds of people and look into their hearts through her magic library. She's not very strong, but because of this ability, she can really just kind of help protect situations and things like that. But she has probably like the biggest crush on Negi, and she's probably the closest thing to love that Negi has. She has the biggest crush on him, and he's starting to realize that. And yeah, so between her and what's her face? Asuna. She's probably the love rival. Her best friend is Yue Aise, who is the, how do you say it? The plain mage. The girl with the broom who casts artifacts. Here we got Natsumi, who's also the friend of Chizuru, who helped Kotaro recover after he lost his memory. Currently in the manga, she was captured in the other world by some people and made into a slave. And currently they're trying to win another tournament to buy her back. Battery's done. Okay. So yeah. She had no idea about magic until she got transferred over to the magic world. We have the class rep Ayaka, really, who is the, I guess, supposed to be the rival of Asuna during their school days. She is not afraid to say she's in love with Negi, and she's a spoiled rich girl who gets super jealous that anyone's getting close to Negi. She's kind of the character who wants to be in someone's face the whole time. She's a cool character, but definitely not my favorite. Here we have Satsuki. She's not associated with any magic at all. She's probably the most down-to-earth character in the show, and she focuses on cooking and things like that. So I think out of all the characters, Evangeline admires this character the most, due to her being realistic and not being childlike. Nothing too special about this character other than her gaining the respect of Evangeline, who is a good 1,000 years old. And now we have Sazi, also one of the most mysterious characters in the show. So that's everything I have here. So I'm sure I went through everything. I didn't cover everything, but I just wanted to show off my cards that I got. I don't believe they sell it here in the US. And I've always wanted these growing up as a kid. Or a young teen, I suppose. And yeah, I had to get them holographic. So that's why it kind of looks yellow and sparkly. You know, I'm sure I had the option to get it on plain white, but why, you know? So, yeah, I hope you guys liked it. If you know anything